Everybody, I'm Jack Danger, one of the co-designers on the Pokemon Pinball here. Again, really awesome license that is near and dear to my heart. I had a great opportunity to start this project off and hand it off to some very, very talented other folks that work here. Obviously, George Gomez is amazing. Andrew and Tanio and Josh Henderson, and there's an incredible engineering team behind this. But we'll get right into this. So, oh, there he is. So, as George was talking about earlier, Pokemon is something that appeals to every age demo. It's bonkers how many people are into Pokemon. So for this game to make sense to what we anticipate is going to be a much larger audience than just pinball fanatics, this game had to be approachable. So something that is the big, fun, recognizable toys. Obviously, we got a giant Pikachu, giant Meowth, giant Pokeball, very recognizable from across the room. These shots are very comfortable, but again, what Tanio and his team have offered is ease of play up front, complexity on the back end. We did a lot of leaning on what's the easiest rule set you can think of to relay to somebody that is sort of the medieval madness, attack from Mars, shoot that shot a couple of times and something will happen. But we can add a lot of complexity to that. So translating that to someone that doesn't know how to play pinball becomes very easy. But yeah, I'll let Tanio talk a little bit about the software if you'd like to, sir.
Sure. So in Pokemon Pinball, you are the trainer, so it's your story as a Pokemon trainer exploring the world. And we have, the world is mapped down, there's a map down here, we have the forest.
You can come a little closer if you guys want to.
The forest, the lake area, the mountains, and the desert, and each area of those areas has different sets of Pokemon that you'll explore and discover. So there's sort of, like Jack was saying, there's a rule structure. You start out with a team that you have Bulbasaur, who's on the outside, then Squirtle, Pikachu, and Charmander. They're your team, and then you can both start modes for them. They're kind of narrative story modes that build your bond with them. So say if you shoot the Squirtle left ramp 2 times, it lights it, and then you shoot it one more time and it starts a Squirtle squad mode. Each one of those shots has modes like that. And then the Pikachu ramp it starts with the 2-ball Multiball. And then there's a Team Rocket section in the middle. Team Rocket is the big bad organization who's the boss is Giovanni, and then Meowth is one of his primary, his emissary into the world, where he's trying to steal your Pokemon. And so this Meowth balloon will come down after you spell battle up here, and he comes down, and then you have to beat him, and you do a Team Rocket Multi-Ball, which the story is that Meowth steals Pikachu, and you have to get him back. So in addition to that sort of rule set, there's also just exploring as you hit pop bumpers and switches, and you hit the Pokédex, which is this captive ball here. It'll advance towards discovering a Pokemon, and so that's the first step in the biome. You're trying to discover, catch, train, and battle. So discover a Pokemon will spawn, and then what you want to do is hit the captive ball again to scan them, and you'll scan the Pokemon. They'll tell you who the Pokemon is, and then you start a catch sequence. And the catch sequence is you're chasing around purple shots around the playfield, and then once you hit enough of those shots, the first one is just one. The Pokeball is lit, and you have a certain amount of time to hit the Pokeball to catch the Pokemon. And if you do that, they get added to your collection.
Heck yeah.
Pokeball is a lock on the premium NLE. On the Pro, it acts like a lock, but it doesn't physically hold the ball.
Yeah. So the ball actually, when this is lit, and you shoot in there, the ball disappears. There's a trap door under there, and it's sort of magical trick. The ball disappears, and you've caught the Pokemon, and then it'll pop up out of here. There's a sort of this hidden. The secret sneak in, sneak out. There's all this stuff under here where it'll pop out. On the Pro, there's a target there, and so it's done and the catching is done on the post.
So you can still get that sort of sneak-in thing that we have here, but we've added a target here to still register that, but the ball doesn't actually
hard to get
from play. Yeah,
you're gonna have to get it off a glance or something.
Yeah. But like Tanya was saying, this you're the trainer in this. This isn't necessarily Ash's journey, although we are using clips from that show. So obviously, this a pinball machine does need a big bad, like you mentioned, and what better than Team Rocket? And this was such a great opportunity for a giant recognizable Meowth, a giant recognizable Pokemon, but it's like an interactive sculpt, which, you know, that's sort of, you dream about a sculpt you can actually beat the crap out of in a pinball machine that'll hold up.
These were custom, you know, these were custom sculpted by us. So these had to go to Japan, toy approval, the whole thing.
Yeah, back and forth plenty of times.
So all of the stuff was generated by us. It's not off the shelf toys. It's not from them. We created it.
Heck yeah. And yeah, you can see the Pro and Premium differences here. Actually, this is the LE. So
it doesn't have the Squirtle
Bowl.
Bowl.
And, you know, we've got like little bumps and hang-ups in there so that you can't just sit there and spin the ball for an hour and a half to get all your points. It does divert down into the in lane, so again, you're not in here all the time.
Couple of things. Notice the Pokeball speaker light display.
Oh, here we go.
So they're going to do more than that, but that's you know, that's one of the default modes. And also when you're playing, when you notice on these LEs, the images on the side of the armor, on the real armor, they're going to be printed on, just like we've done in the past with art on armors.
Right now they're decals.
Right now they're
here.
decals.
Yeah.
We just didn't get approval in time to get the so they're decals. But don't worry, they're gonna be printed on, very high quality, full color. And there's I think the LE is very EV themed in Deco. And you know, the Premium is Pika, and we've, you know, when you get your badges, your ownership badges, the ownership badges are themed that way.
Okay. Tanio, can you touch on the combo system you put on this?
Certainly.
Thank you.
So we have a combo system. So
before you talk about the combo system,
Okay.
you got to notice that there are a lot of combo shots.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
So-
there's a lot of flow in this game. But yeah, you'll see that on each shot there's a combo light. That's the Pokeball combo. And so as you chase the combos around, you can collect them at the Pokédex captive ball with the combo collect, and that will, every time you make a combo shot, you get Pokeballs, but you'll get a big batch of them, which count towards your bonus and will eventually lead to a like a mini wizard mode. And then there's a second combo system. Since this game combos so well, there's 8 evolutions that each one has a secret combo, and if you complete a certain number of those, you'll get to add Eevee to your team.
Heck yeah. And like down here when he was talking about the map, when Tony was talking about the map here, there's multiple objectives in each biome. So we have the 4 biomes here. And then on the right here, you can see the 4 objectives, like discovering a Pokemon, catching a Pokemon, training a Pokemon, and doing a battle. And like sort of, I guess a good similarity like Godzilla is like you're in that area, you're doing those objectives, then you can like complete what you need to, move on to the next biome. And every biome will have specific Pokemon that live in that biome. Obviously, you won't have like a bunch of water Pokemon in the desert. But there's a great opportunity there to like spread out the Pokemon we have to share. But also for the future, this was a question yesterday, is you know, is there a way to like choose when to spawn Pokemon and stuff? We've got a lot of control over where and when, both physically and time. There's a lot of opportunity we have to really make it a thing that you could probably go out in the world and chase. And we'll talk more about that when we can talk more about that.
In the future.
In the future, yeah, right. Heck yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about battle a little bit too. That's the big thing, that each one of these regions has a battle that you're leading up to. So the first one, you're gonna start in the forest area, so you'll go in the forest battle against the forest rival. And the forest rival is sort of a bug expert, and you wanna talk more about it?
Yeah, so we start off in the forest with a grass and a bug guy, but you start with Bulbasaur as your first Pokemon, who's grass and poison. So you might get some advantages, but if you can shoot a couple shots, the scoop on the right will actually light up to let you switch Pokemon. So you can switch to Squirtle, switch to Pikachu, or you can switch to Charmander, and you can light up the forest and just tear through that boss real quick. Then you move on to the lake, and of course then you're going to want a Pikachu to knock out a bunch of water types. In each little section you'll learn what Pokemon pairs up well against each different rival that you fight in each different biome.
Right. So if you don't know a lot about pinball, you'll learn it by playing this game, and if you don't know a lot about Pokemon, you'll also
Learn it by
learn
playing
it.
this game.
Yeah, the rule set is a Pokemon rule set for all the battle sequences and stuff. But it's pretty much like a light rule set. If you go to Pokemon.com, they have a Pokédex. We're pretty much following all the stats, like the types. Each Pokemon has a type. They might be of 1 or 2 types, which gives them strengths against other Pokemon, and also they'll show what their weaknesses are.
Yeah. It's a simplified combat system compared to like the games that you've played, if you have played those. But we also will flash the lights faster if you have a type advantage. And we're working on other ways to communicate via light show and the LCD screen. You know, when you're at risk, whenever they have an advantage over you, or when you have an advantage over them. So, there'll be more to come in that department as well.
Heck yeah, and the voice for the Pokédex, she will help also navigate you or tell you what you need to do as you're playing, because like again, we need this game to be as understandable and approachable to new and young players as well as advanced players. So everything we can do to make sure you know what you're doing, we're trying to do that in this game.
Yeah, and beyond like being beginner friendly and teaching people, we're also very focused on making it fun for everybody and fun for competition. We have some really good
Tournament players
on our team. Josh Henderson and Andrew are both really good. I'm average, but there's been a lot of thought put into the depth of this game and the breadth and the other stuff like that. Yeah. You want to talk about anything?
You talk about the story modes yet? Too late for that.
We talked about them a little bit. One thing you'll see is each of the 3 Pikachu has a multi-ball. Squirtle has a feature on the premium LE, the Squirtle Bowl. Charmander is the spinner, and then Bulbasaur is a big ramp back here. So each one of those sort of features those things.
Yeah, just hitting a shot 3 times will start the mode associated with the character. Very basic. Then of course you have your basic multi-ball up the middle with Team Rocket. A spelling battle will bring down the balloon and bash the balloon enough to get your multi-ball going.
Heck yeah.
So, on top of that, Tanya, we've got a lot of scenes from the show. This is based on that animated series. Tanya did fight to get the Squirtle Squad in there. So
You gotta have it.
Yeah, we got the Squirtle Squad.
Things like that.
Yeah, and so we have we've got each one of these shots has a mode. It leads up to a mini wizard mode. Right now, what we have is the first mini wizard mode is Pikachu versus Charizard, which is a pretty epic battle. Coming in the future, we'll have second waves, tier 2 of the story modes, and then tier 2 Lucario, Charizard, Pikachu versus Lucario. We have 1 Team Rocket multi-ball in right now. We're gonna have 2 more plus a wizard mode Team Rocket, and then there's a mini wizard structure on the battles. So you'll do forest, rival, battle, lake, mountain, desert, and then that leads to if you complete all those, you get to qualify for the Pokemon Arena, which is like a big tournament. Well, you'll fight like kind of a bigger fight.
Can you touch on? I know, like we're still working on that, but can you touch on the training part of like what is that doing for us right now?
Right. So you'll notice it'll as you're playing the game, it'll start cycling between the different colors of the Pokemon. So green for Bulbasaur, blue for Squirtle, yellow, and orange. So if you hit the target, it'll lock in the color, and then you complete it, and you'll train that Pokemon. Right now we're starting out with point awards. It also has different effects that boost your different modes. Maybe you can talk about them.
Yeah, like during the timed modes, if you complete those targets, it'll add time, a bit like the time modes in Walking Dead. So you can shoot for those targets, they'll pulse during it.
Yeah. But we're going to be advancing that some more in future releases.
Yes.
Heck yeah.
Questions, and then let's play pinball.
Yeah, let's let you in on them.
Shiny Pokemon?
The future, the future may be bright.
The future may be bright.
Okay, maybe shiny.